All right, I'm going to do two examples here where I'm adding rational expressions, and in these examples, we're going to have the same denominators, so these are going to be much easier. If you know how to add or subtract regular fractions, these work the same way. You have the same denominators, you just add the numerators. Now, one additional thing in these rational expression problems is we are also going to identify any x values for which the expression is undefined. What that means is I'm going to figure out what x values will make the denominator equal to 0, because you cannot divide by 0, and we can't have a denominator equal to 0. So I'm going to figure out those x values first. Looking at my denominators, they're both x squared minus 1. What I'm going to do is solve for x and set them equal to 0. So what I'm going to do is factor. X squared minus 1 is a difference of squares. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 1 is 1. So my denominators factored would be x plus 1, x minus 1. Difference of squares. So if you set them equal to 0, x plus 1 equals 0 gives you x equals negative 1. X minus 1 equals 0 gives you x equals positive 1. So I'm going to use a not equal to sign to show that x cannot be negative or positive 1. Plugging in either of those numbers will give me a denominator of 0, and I can't have that. So that's just a note to make in the beginning. That's answering part of the question. Now, when I add them together, because they have the same denominator, all I've got to do is combine my numerators. I just need to combine like terms. So I have a 3x and a 2x. That would equal 5x. Then I've got a negative 2 and a positive 4. And now I'm done. So one thing I'll point out, always see if you can keep simplifying. So if the numerator was factorable and you ended up with matching factors in the numerator and denominator, you would want to cancel those out. But there's nothing I can do here. 5x plus 2 is done, so this is the answer. My pen's acting up, you get it. Okay. I'm going to do another one. This time I'm going to subtract. Now, it's the same thing as before, but there's just one thing I want to point out with subtraction, and that is that you have to distribute the negative when you go ahead and combine your numerators. So starting with where this is undefined, this should be super easy because I'm just setting x plus 2 equal to 0. So you find that x cannot be negative 2. Now, like I said, when you combine your numerators, since you're subtracting everything in that second expression, you have to distribute the negative to make sure that you're subtracting everything. So what I'm going to do is put the 4x plus 4 in parentheses so that I know that I am distributing that negative sign. So after the negative sign, I get minus 4x minus 4. Make sure you distribute it to both. Okay, so now, sorry, I wrote something wrong. Now, just like the first one, you combine like terms and you're done. So we have 2x minus 4x, that'll be negative 2x. Then I have negative 1 minus 4. Sorry, my computer's really slow, so I have to write slow. Negative 2x minus 5, and that is all over x plus 2 And again, see if you can factor and cancel anything out, but I can't do anything here. So the answer is negative 2x minus 5 over x plus 2.